Hi, we're going to start on a new strum. Previously you started doing the syncopated strum, which is basically a double strum, downs and ups with first finger, and you'd be like down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And you could have gone slower, but you had to do 10 sets of 10 repetitions, 100. And today I would like you to do 40 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, I should have done finished it there. Okay. Now, if you're super at this and it really worked for you yesterday and you've got some experience, then do them in groups of 20. If you're still developing your skill on this, and I think we all are, but if you really feel like you're struggling and sometimes it's not going in the right direction, you do them in sets of 10. Put 5 minutes between your sets, and I'll let you decide whether you can do 20s or if you can do 2 sets of 20 or 4 sets of 10. It's no good practicing this wrong. If you find that you're making mistakes in your reps, that doesn't count then. You have to slow it down. Even if it's this slow, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. If you're practicing too fast and making mistakes, you're not actually learning anything. Well, maybe a little bit, but mostly you're practicing it the wrong way. It will always be sort of a crapshoot. And when we get to, let's put chords on these. Right? Then you'll be like, why do I keep making mistakes? Well, you're making mistakes because adding this in real time with this is very complicated compared to just doing this. And if you're still, if you haven't practiced this beautifully at the slow tempos and then got that consistent and comfortable and you have to think about this, this is becomes kind of a nightmare. So do them slow enough. Promise that that's the right way to do it. So yesterday we talked about the triple strum, and I'm gonna show you that now, okay? The triple strum is when you go down with your first finger. Now instead of going down all the way, we're gonna open up our hand so that kinda, I wouldn't say it's like a full-on L shape or loser, but you do open a bit, right? You flick, you flick. It's a little bit of wrist and a little bit of opening. The reason why you don't go all the way down and you don't, go wide open like this is because the next thing that happens is your thumb comes down, okay? And if you go down below, then your thumb's out of position. It's got to be above so it can take the thumb strum. And if you go like this, then your thumb's really higher than it needs to be and it's bent back, and that's not right either. So we're going to go a little bit of a flick and open. See that my hand has still got the thumb above here, like that, and then this, right? And now I'm going to come back up with my finger like that, which puts me back in position to go 1, 2, 3, right? 1, flick, strum, bring back to get ready to flick. It's like pool, billiards. You're always setting up your next shot, okay? So open, down, return. Open, down, return. What is the absolute best way to practice this right now? The best way today is just to open and just practice the open. So I know some of you won't be able to resist and you'll agree like, no, I got to do this. And I guess I can't stop you. I mean, it's a free country. But if you want to do this in the right order for the practice, the thing you're going to get, marked on, you're going to go like this, open. And you're going to check to make sure that your thumb is still above. So you could strum, right? Open. It's like a flick, flick, flick. Keep the thumb above, okay? And rather than say you have to do 100 of these, what I need you to do is I need you to find something to do for 5 minutes. And when that 5 minutes is over, you can stop. Right? Now you can watch Netflix, look at a podcast, something. But you can't be so involved with it that you never check down to make sure your thumb stays above. Notice that my hand's very relaxed. I'm not hitting it hard, right? I'm hitting it on the back of the fingernail, so I'm not hurting my finger. There's no strain. It's just, oh, oh. Just imagine you have something you're just going like flick, flick, right? Right. 5 minutes of that, okay? 2 times. So 5 minutes, rest for 5 minutes from it, and then, 5 minutes again, okay? So that's the beginning. Get that nice and solid so that we can add in the thumb flick, okay? All right. And then the third strum that we're gonna learn, the second one for today's practice thing, so we've done syncopated, we've done the flick from the triple strum, okay? Now we're gonna learn this one here. Okay, so it is a pick of the 4th string, and you don't pick down because then your hand's out of position. It's pick, and when I start students off, I make them hop up a little bit, not because we need to do that when we play, but it makes sure that you're emphasizing that your hand's in the right position, because it's pick, flick, pick, flick, pick, flick. Now do you see how the triple strum opening up is also really important to this? You pick, flick. If you don't flick right, you'll be down there and you can't pick again, right? So you've done 2 sets of 5 minutes of flick, 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 right? I need another 5 minutes, but we'll prioritize. We want this to work well today, right? 5 minutes, 2 sets, put some time between them, so 10 minutes in total. And then you're gonna do it again, but now you're gonna put the little pick in there. It's like, it's just like a bounce off the string a little bit. Pick, flick, pick, flick, pick, flick. And if you've done this right, when you flick, your thumb will be above the strings, and you'll just pick, or you could think bounce, flick, bounce, flick. This one I need you to do very slowly and not watch a podcast or Netflix or something. I want you to look at this in a mirror or in video playback from your instrument, right? You can look down at your fingers a little bit, but then you gotta look away while you do this, while you look at it in some other display in front of you, okay? 5 minutes, concentrated time, okay? Again, the flick that you practice first opens up and leaves the thumb there, and the pick bounces up a little bit so that you're not like there and going, oh no, I've got to do this, right? Needless to say, you don't have to do anything with this hand right now. Shouldn't do, all right? So, in review, 40 more of those. You can do 4 sets of 10 or 2 sets of 20 if you're feeling really good about them. Put a little break between them, because we need, you don't put too much spray paint on at one time. You have a break between coats. And then similarly, you're going to do this flick for the triple strum. Triplet, 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 right? But you're just going to practice this, right? Opening up. It's a flick. And you're going to do 5 minutes. You can do something else. If you want to pay attention, that's fine, okay? And then wait 5 minutes at least, and then do another 5 minutes. And then finally, to do this, pick and strum, right? Then you're going to do the flick again, but before you do that, you're going to bounce off or pick, and then this one I want you to pay attention to. I'll write that all up in the assignment, but you know, hopefully you've been paying attention here.